time for an update on the SM. The next SM video was due to be the history video, the one that shows you where it came from and how I got it and who had it before me and everything like that, everything I've managed to find out so far. But that hasn't happened, and now it's a different type of video because reasons. So today, what I'm actually doing is having a little panic, having a mild panic attack, because I've just realised that I've bought a Citroen SM that needs loads of work. I've worked on many cars, loads of cars, and I fear no car. But that thing, it scares me. I mean, it's got no roof. This is the parts car. I said I wouldn't go nuts doing videos on this because it's kind of a bit sad, but at the same time, it's part of it, isn't it? It's part of the journey. So what this is at the moment here is a convertible SM. I now own two convertibles. Look, that one and that one. This one's not meant to be. The roof has come off. I've had to remove the roof. It's very sad, I know. For those who haven't followed this complete storm since the beginning, I've got two SMs. You're getting the light. I've got the white car, which I'll show you in a minute, and I've got the parts car. Now, I've cut the roof off this. I know, and I've cut the back end off it as well. Look, there's no back panel. I know, it's very sad. I know, and it's an SM. However, hear me out. Two reasons. Firstly, this is really rusty. I mean, really, really, really rusty. You could repair it because you could repair anything, but you wouldn't. It's that bad. Honestly, it's that bad. There's some bits that are okay, but there are a lot of bits that aren't. An SM specialist who this came from said it was too far gone. Someone who makes money repairing SMs said that was too far gone. So what I'm doing is I'm taking parts off of it. The other reason I bought it is because said SM specialist was going to weigh it in. It was going to go for scrap. It was going to be crushed. If you haven't checked out the videos on, I mean, really the best thing to do is go back and watch all the SM videos in order. There's 1 to 5. Some of the views on some are so much higher than others. People aren't seeing them in order. It doesn't really matter, I suppose, but it helps if you see the order. But this particular car here, it was going to get crushed. It was just going to get. He'd taken everything he wanted off of it. It was just going to get picked up, dumped on a truck and weighed in, unless I gave him a couple £100 for it, which is all I gave. I tried to drive up there, to miles away, to get this thing. So although it's sad what's happening to it, it would have been a far worse fate. It would have been cubed and wasted. And a lot of this stuff isn't going to be wasted. That, unfortunately, yeah, mine's knackered on my other car. But the roof is off. I'm not saving the roof. The roof is off because, well, it makes packaging the thing easier when I take it apart. I do want to save the quarter panels, although they're absolutely ruined down here. This kind of stuff, these lines and these creases and things, these swage lines, they're very difficult to replicate, especially with the curve in them. So there's a chance, because they're normally quite bad up here, but this one isn't. Weirdly, it's quite good up here. So all of this and the other side, although the bottom's gone, I think the bottom on this side is marginally better. Yeah, it is. Mine's quite bad here, so I can see me cutting the back end of this quarter panel off and using it, because my own car, which I am going to restore eventually, it could probably benefit with that. So that's one of the reasons for doing this car. But what I'll show you is why I'm feeling a bit so because you've got no roof, you can see the floor, which is all very well and good, but at the back here you can see down there, that's the anti-roll bar, the hydraulics, the controls, even the ones for the headlights. I know they're all along the back there. They go, I don't know if you can see. No, you can't. They don't go under the car because the car is so streamlined. It's flat bottomed. Everything's inside. So when you sit in the back seat, your ass is quite close to the rear anti-roll bar. I know. So that wasn't the only thing. And then we move to the front. Now, there's no front on this car because I took it apart in one of the previous videos. I don't know if you remember. Very exciting it was too. This is just like nothing else you've seen. I mean, unless you've got a DS, because it might look familiar, but So you've got your wheel hub here. Now, so far, I've tried to remove various parts of this and failed. There are 2 crosshead screws here. You take off this plate around the outside, and the drive shaft and CV joint and everything like that pull through the hub outwards. Because there's no hub nut. Everything works in reverse. You've got 2 arms here, which go like that, up and down. Getting all these references in here. But things like the anti-roll bar. So this is the anti-roll bar here, which goes across the middle of the car. You can see it down there. And if I move it now, because I can you see it? I went to take the anti-roll bar out because I thought I'm going to need to, because I want to remove this entire assembly. So I went to remove the drop link, which was connected to this. You can't remove it. An hour it took me on the internet to discover that it doesn't come off. I had to find the original Citroen parts manual and have a look for the part number for the anti-roll bar to discover that doesn't come off. You can take this cap off the end and you can get access to the ball joint, which I assume is pressed into the end of the anti-roll bar, and the whole thing's pressed together. You can't take it off. You bought an anti-roll bar from Citroen, it came with that half of the drop link on it. And the other half, I'm presuming, doesn't come off this. So this is the anti-roll bar on the other side, and I've disconnected the drop link here, which was originally held together with this. And this is even better because this thing here looks like a clamp. It's got threads in it, as you can see, and it winds on one, winds on the other. But this one's different to the one on the other side, because this one has a left-hand thread and a right-hand thread. So when you rotate it, it adjusts the clearance between these two. It makes them go further apart or closer together, which in theory adjusts the height of the car at the front. But the other side, this one, doesn't. They're conventional threads. So you have to adjust the height of the car with that side and then wind this all the way up one end and then wind it down onto the other one once you've got the height set. And there's measurements and things you have to do. It's so much more complicated than a BX. So, yeah, one of the things I was going to say, now, I haven't got to faff with this, but that there, I'm pretty sure now, is for the headlamps. This car, being a Euro car, would have had the hydraulically operated headlamps. Yes, hydraulically operated headlamps. So basically that there is a plunger, and if you do that, if you can see it, if I move the anti-roll bar like that, and it goes all the way through this pipe work, this goes to the headlights, that comes from the back axle, because obviously there are 2 axles. I mean, it's just crazy. The only thing I can't quite figure out is how the hell that works. It doesn't matter how it works, because my car is a US spec car, and it doesn't have all that, but I'm kind of intrigued. Because they're all on the same line. Oh my god. There's liquid in it, look. Is it? I just assumed it was LHM. Oh my sweet Jesus. What is that? See what I mean? This is why I'm feeling absolutely overwhelmed with this. I know it sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Who would have thought a Citroen SM would be a complicated car? But it really is. Everything is so complex on it. It's just so different. Most manufacturers would have thought, I want to achieve this, this and this. And then when they got 2 points in and realised the third one was going to be unviable, they'd have given up and said, right, we can't have it that way. We'll just have to... I know the concept car had it, but the road-going car can't have it. Citroen thought, no, we have everything. And if that doesn't work, we'll find another way of making it work. And if that affects something, we'll find something to stop it affecting something. And it's just absolutely bloody bonkers. Oh, it's crazy. It really is. I'm in awe, But the problem is I'm not in the right frame of mind to be all positive and smiley about this. I was a kid in a candy shop when I first started taking it apart, and now I'm like, wow, okay. And so yeah, one of the other things I was trying to get out of the back of this car, I will be getting the rest of it out, but this this piece here is where the fuel tank went. The fuel tank, which is now here. No, there. Plastic fuel tank on the Euro cars, steel on my car. I don't know if this piece of the floor is different because it's kind of shaped like the fuel tank. So it might be that it won't fit my car because my floor is different. I'm not changing the floor as well. I am going to have to change a bit of the back floor. That's knackered on mine too. Bummer. But look, yonder. It's exactly the same size and has the same patterns in it. The only thing it doesn't have is this panel here has holes in it that are supposed to be there, not just like all these. And if you can see them, but yeah, 3 grommets. So I've got to press a flat circular shape into these and drill them out. That's fine. Can do that easily enough. This, I haven't worked out what this is, but I think that's an override for the height corrector. I reckon you can pull that like this and the back of the car would raise. I think that's what that is, which seems crazy, but yeah, can't get the fuel cap off because I haven't got a key. Great. So the mechanism and everything's good, which is good because mine is a bit sticky in the other one, but I can't get it off because I haven't got a key, so I'm gonna have to go medieval with that. But as more time goes on, you just get more and more piles of SM bits everywhere. This is all stuff that was deemed surplus by the specialist I got the car from. But there's also good news. If I walk over to the Imp here and turn, that's where the SM was. And now there is just chassis and TVRs and things like that. Because she's in her home. Yay! The SM room. The room of SM, which is not as dodgy as it sounds. Yeah, we're in this room. My colleague here has done a good job putting this wall up, which I need to paint and stuff. But basically we've partitioned off a bit of the space under the Mares, and now you can see the other side of the SM. There will be more room in here because I need to get rid of... Oh, it's bright. Wow. Hang on, let me play with the camera. There we go. Exposure settings have been tweaked. Yeah, so it's a bit cramped in here at the moment because there's some cabinets and things, and there's a big bench here which needs clearing and moving. There's some storage space coming up at the back here, and yeah, there'll be a lot of this stuff won't be in here, so it's just put in here at the moment just to give us, because this is a working environment, so it's to give us some working space. But yeah, the SM is now in the place where it's going to be, well, just works on, I think. Light's much better in here. I can get more. I probably will get some more. And then I have to figure out a plan of attack. And I'm not entirely sure what that is at the moment, if I'm honest, but I think it's going to be engine out, engine gearbox all out, do some bits on the engine separately. But yeah, I'm a little bit, at the moment it's the wrong time to be thinking of all that, because I'm a little bit overwhelmed with how much I've taken on here. Obviously got rid of Meg the other day, BX is gone, but yeah, there's a fair bit to do. I mean, there's no more to do than there was a couple of months ago, but for some reason at the moment I'm thinking like, oh, I can't do that. Whereas a couple of months ago I thought, yeah, I'll do that. So I don't entirely know why. Yeah, that's how it is. But yeah, it's in its new home, which is good. I've taken off the glass off the front to stop it getting smashed. Yeah, there is a bit of a light difference in here versus into the normal workshop. I mean, look, that's the normal workshop. It's just, but yeah, there we go. You can even kind of see the back. I've taken off the number plate and these big number plate lights because I'm not going to have them. I don't want them, they look horrible. But yeah, look, that's the side. That's never been seen on camera yet. you've got a big dent down here. Yeah, my fuel cap's a bit. No, it's not working at all now. Yeah, about right. This door is locked, so you have to open it from the inside, and I don't have a key that fits it. Yay! So that's going to need persuading open. But yeah, there we have it. So yeah, good and bad news. The bad news is obviously I've had to cut another one up, and there's a wing for it there, which is probably worse than. Oh yeah, that's definitely worse than the one on the car. But yeah, the SM now has its space. I can't see any mice, which is good. It can be worked on. It can be jacked up in here, lifted off the ground. I can get underneath it and I can work on it when I am feeling able. At the moment, I'm just, yeah, I don't know why. It's really odd. I'm just feeling really like confidence. I mean, I was stuffed with confidence anyway, but at the moment I've just got none. So I think I just need to wait for it to come back before I go trying to dive in anywhere. Go and play with TVRs or something like that. That's probably what I should be doing. But yeah, it's it'll be good. It'll all be good. Unfortunately, that one over there will be gone, but this one will get worked on. Sorry, this is a bit of a disjointed update, this, but there we go. That's where we're at. SM is now in the room where it's going to be. This is where all the work will happen, and hopefully it comes back out of here in one piece. So the next video on this will be the history one, hopefully. And plus I've got all the other ones I've still got to do yet as well. But there we go. Enjoy.